You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know.
Hey everybody, it's Joanne Dollard and I'm here with Kristen Starcher, who's the Nashville area director of Best Buddies Tennessee, and we're here for another special edition of Love Your Data, Love Your Donor. And today the topic is the power of stories and what makes a good story. And Kristen's had a ton of experience working with stories every day in her work. Just tell us what you think makes a good Best Buddies story and what's really made an impression on you that way.
Well, I really think that Best Buddies stories are what keeps the organization thriving, because without the stories, we don't have people engaged. And whether it's a volunteer or a donor, whoever it may be that you want to be involved with the organization, I think it's really important to be able to express the passion that you personally have for Best Buddies and share some of the most amazing stories that have touched you, so that in turn they want to be a part of the organization.
What, from your perspective, are the elements of a good Best Buddies story?
I think a good Best Buddies story is one that when you hear it, you really get what our mission is about and you get really fired up or touched, or the person may cry when you hear the story, but the ones that really evoke a lot of emotion.
And can you talk a little bit about how you use stories in your role and how your staff uses them and why they're, again, just so vital?
Yes. Well, I have a Best Buddy myself, and whether you do or not, there's always going to be stories, whether you heard a story or witnessed one. I use stories when I talk to anybody, and I always, like I said, I pick the ones that really have touched me most, and I think about my Best Buddy and what she's done for me, her influence on my life, and the things we do together, the things that she does that really makes me laugh. But every time I meet with a donor, I talk about friendship stories and job stories, ones that are really powerful, that when an individual has overcome an obstacle, talking about families. I think when you can really personally relate to the person you're talking to, everybody needs friendship, obviously. Everybody wants to have a job and feel fulfilled, and whether the person you're talking to has a family member with a disability or not, I think that they, when they hear these stories, they can at least relate to them, when to get interested in.
Yeah, you're showing people how people's lives have really been changed in a beautiful way. Can you talk a little bit about how you use photos and videos in Nashville? Because Tennessee has done an amazing job getting fresh photos every year and getting videos. And I personally have really appreciated having access to those photos for the engagement touches that we're developing here as a part of our new engagement program.
Okay, it's time for a new photo shoot, but it's important to carve out the time to do that. I really love images. That is something that helps me do my job, because when you have a really quality, high resolution photo of a buddy pair or a jobs participant on their work site, it just shows what our mission is about, and you don't really have to read a whole lot, you just see it. And I love being able to make kind of cool little headers for emails with the photos in them, and just whenever I'm communicating with people. But when we've built relationships with some photographers in Nashville, and they became a part of Best Buddies for the same reason other people become a part of Best Buddies. It's the stories they hear and the events that they've seen, and they actually donate their time, which is really awesome. But if you can get a photographer to donate time and make sure it's a really nice, well-lit area, whether it's outdoors or indoors, but getting some pose shots, but also action shots too, and of pairs doing different things together, you just, once you have a whole variety of different shots, then you really can find great ways to use them, and it helps tell.
Oh yeah, and it's about showing the the relationship, the connection in the relationship, right?
Yeah, is really energetic about it. Not to say that it has to be an energetic pair, but at least a pair that when you look at them together, you can see their friendship. You know, the smiles and, you know, just even if it's someone who's a little bit on the shy side, just seeing an interaction. You know, it turns out great.
Right.
So,
Hey, thank you so much for being here today.
yeah, of
I really
course, absolutely.
appreciate it. And don't forget, love your data and love your donor. We're not going to keep
Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.